Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Lulumath. This video is on solving systems of equations that have fractional or decimal coefficients. So if you take a look, we have a system in front of us that has fractional coefficients right here. So we have this blue equation and this purple one right here. And we want to make it so that we don't have to deal with fractions or decimals. And then once we do that, we are going to solve them exactly how we solved any of the other examples that we have looked at. So whenever we have fractions, what we want to do, our best bet is to clear any fractions by multiplying by a least common denominator, okay? So, and this least common denominator is going to come from the least common multiple, which is what we talked about in our systems with elimination. So if you take a look at our blue equation right here, we've got 1/2 x minus 2/3 y equals -5, okay? So I want to find the LCD of my denominators. Well, first of all, this 5 has a hidden denominator of 1. So essentially what I need to do is I need to find the LCD of my denominators, which are 2, 3, and 1. Okay, so if I have the LCD of 2, 3, and 1, I'm trying to find out what are the multiples of 2 and 3 that are the smallest multiple in common, and that is going to be 6, because 2 multiples of 2 would be like 2, 4, 6, 8. Multiples of 3 would be like 3, 6, 9, 12. So 6 is the smallest common multiple or smallest common denominator. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply everything through here by 6. So I'm going to do my multiplication of 6 through to 1/2 x right here. So I'll start by doing that multiplication here. I'm going to do it on the side so we can see what's happening. So 6 times 1 over 2x, but this is 6 over 1. And things should cancel out, because if they don't cancel out, then your LCD is incorrect. We should always end up getting denominators of 1, because our goal is to clear any fractions that we have here, okay? So this 2 is this 2 and this 6, they're both divisible by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So I've got 1s in my denominator, so I don't have to worry about those anymore. And in my numerator, I have 3 times 1 times x left over. Well, 3 times 1 is 3, times x is 3x. So this right here ends up being 3x, okay? Now, let's go ahead and multiply this 6 through to this -2/3 y. So this is 6 over 1 times -2/3 y, okay? Again, things should be canceling out. If they don't, you don't have the right common denominator. So 6 and 3 are both divisible by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. I have denominators of 1, and that's exactly what I want. So now I'm just going to see what's left over right here. So 2 times -2 times y is -4y. Okay, so this is 3x minus 4y equals, now I also have to multiply this 6 through to this -5. So let's go ahead and do that. So 6 times -5. I don't need to write fractions for either one of these because they're just regular integers. And when I multiply 6 by -5, I get -30. So that means that my blue equation, my original blue equation that we have right here, is now this new green equation that we have here. So I want to demonstrate that, again, we haven't changed our line at all. It's the exact same line. We're just writing an equivalent version of the line. So our first equation that we had was 1/2 x minus 2/3 y equals -5. Okay, and then when we multiplied everything through by 6, we ended up getting 3x minus 4y equals -30. Okay, and if you notice, the green line is the original line that we had here. Once I turn on the purple line, it's exactly on top of the green one because they're the exact same line. So now that we've done this process to the blue equation, now we want to do the same process to the purple equation. So I'm going to write down the purple equation. So it's 3/5 x minus 1 over 10 y equals 6, I believe. Yes, equals -6. So I'm going to find the LCD of my denominators, which are 5 and 10. Again, I don't really care about the fact that this has a denominator of 1. So the LCD of 5 and 10 will multiples of 5 would be 5, 10, 15, 20. And so since multiples of 5 include 10, then 10 is our least common multiple. So that means that I have to go through and multiply everything through here by 10. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see what this process is going to look like. So my first one is 10 over 1 times 3 over 5 x. Again, things should cancel out in the denominator. If they don't, then we did not choose the correct LCD. So 10 and 5 are both divisible by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So these end up being 1 in our denominator. We don't really need that written out anymore. So this just turns into 2 times 3 times x. Well, 2 times 3 is 6. And then 6 times x is 6x. So now we have 6x right here. Okay. So for the next part we have here, we are going to do 10 over 1 times 1 over 10 y, okay? So 10 and 10 are both divisible by 10. They both turn into 1s. So this ends up being 1 times y right here. So I end up getting 1y, or just y. So this becomes minus y, okay? And then lastly, I can just do -6 times 10, which is equal to -60. So right here, I end up getting equals -60. So now I've gone from having my blue equation here and my purple equation that have fractions to my green equation here and my pink equation that do not have fractions. So I'm going to go ahead and write them down on top of each other so that way I can see what it is that I need to do in order to solve them. So 3x minus 4y equals -30. And then our other equation is 6x minus y equals -60. You can use substitution, graphing, elimination, whatever you want in order to solve this. I'm going to use elimination for this example right here, and I'm going to eliminate the y's because I see that this has one y, which makes life so much easier for me. So in order to do this, I'm going to, I'll just put this, we'll take this and we'll put it here so we know that we're doing elimination. I'm going to find LCM of 4 and 1, which is 4. So because it is 4, I don't need to do anything to the top equation. I'm just going to keep it exactly how I see it. Now, because this is -4 right here, I'm going to want to make sure that the pink equation right here will turn into a +4. So the way I can change this -1 right here into a +4 is by multiplying everything through by -4. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like when I multiply it through. -4 times 6x is -24x. Okay, -4 times -1y is +4y, and -4 times -60 is +240. So I can go ahead and add these guys together right here. And when I add them together, 3x and -24x is -21x. -4y and +4y gives me 0, and then -30 plus 240 is 210. Divide by -21, and I get x equals -10. Now that I know what x is, I'm going to go ahead and solve for y. Now, I can plug it in to either the blue equation or the purple equation up here. However, since I cleared the fractions, I have equivalent equations that are much easier to deal with. So I'm going to actually plug this information into my green equation right here. This 3x minus 4y equals -30, okay? So 3x minus 4y equals -30. I'm going to replace this -10 in here for x. So this will end up being 3 times -10 minus 4y equals -30. Okay, so 3 times -10 right here is -30 minus 4y equals negative 30. Add 30 to both sides to get rid of this 30 over here. This cancels out to give me nothing. We will write down, copy down the negative 4y. Here, we'll see this and we'll say it'll cancel out to give us nothing, but we still have to put something there on the right side of our equation, so we're going to put a 0. Divide by negative 4. 0 divided by any number is always 0. So therefore, my solution is going to be negative 10, because that's x, followed by 0. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below or at lulumath.com. You can also find these notes filled in or blank at lulumath.com as well. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with others that you think might benefit from this. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.